In this tutorial, I want to show you guys how to manually create an HDR photo with Lightroom and Photoshop. So those Creative Cloud users might like this tutorial. I'm going to show you guys the transition and the flow, how to do it. And the main reason why I would like to do that manually, sometimes once you have moving object into your picture. So what I mean by that, I have the water flow here. I shot this with a shutter speed of 0.4 seconds. There's a little bit of wind and the trees behind end up being a little funky. So what the picture you're looking at right now is an HDR picture that I created using the 3 exposure that I have. And it created a picture which is okay, but I'm sure we can do a little better by doing it manually in Photoshop. So I just want to say I shot this series of pictures while I was doing a review on the Manfrotto 055 series tripod, which is a fantastic tripod. Just if you want to take a look at the review, the link will be below. So what I will do right now is I will go through those 3 pictures. So the first one is a dark exposure. I was trying to capture the trees in the sky. Basically, there was only part of the picture which was in the sun. It's part of the tree, and everything else is in the shadow. The mid exposure is for the waterfall, and I kind of look how Rachel is not too bright or too dark, so I'm going to use probably this exposure for her and the water feature. And the brightest exposure will be for everything else. So what I will do is from my library module, I will select these 3 pictures, right click, and then I can go to edit in, and there's a few options. I can open as layers in Photoshop or merge them into different plugins that I have, but for this I will open as layers in Photoshop. So I'll go ahead and click on this. I already done that for you guys, so what I'll do is I'll go straight to Photoshop. Now in Photoshop, I just want to say this is not a basic course how to use Photoshop. I presume at this point you know what layers are and how to use brushes and so forth. If you want to take some basic courses, get some good skills, I'll show you guys some links down below or on my website. Feel free to check it out. So here we are. The 3 layers are open on the right. I will use my bright layer as my base layer to work on. Now this middle layer I will use for the water feature and for Rachel, and the top layer I will use mainly for the sky and the trees. So the trees won't be like shaky loose or whatever it is. I will be able to keep them crisp. So I will create layer mask on the first 2 layers. I will pretty much create a black mask by holding Alt Option and clicking on the mask icon. Now that I have my 2 masks created, I will go and reveal the water or the feature I want to reveal from every single exposure. So I will choose a black mask of my second exposure here, use a brush with a white foreground. I will make the brush a little bigger. I will make the brush soft to roughly about 30% or whatever, something like that. And I will paint in the water. Go. So now I have that nice water feature with have quite a bit of details. And I will do the same thing with Rachel. Darker up a little tiny bit. Now I will go to the black mask on my top layer, and I will do the same for the trees and the sky. Now you'll see we have quite a bit of a harsh line right here. So what I'll do is I'll bring the opacity down to maybe 25%, switch the brush for a black color, and then I will soften the brush a lot, and I will paint back the trees in the area that I find it's too dark. Just like that. Until it look natural. Not too bad like this. So basically, if I look what I've done, maybe I keep pull out of there. I'm happy with this. Water feature in Rachel. I'm happy with this. Now our job is done here, so what I'll do is I will save. By saving it, it will ask me where to go, and I will go to my workplace. Well, I was doing my P-series, and I will go from there. So we're back in Lightroom after we saved the file. The file just reappeared into the gallery we had. So basically, I will go have a look. So this is our HDR fill picture versus the HDR that was created with Lightroom. So it's a little different, you know, like I personally like the fact that we're able to keep the water feature a little bit more real and the tree look a little better in the background. Now if you want to keep working on this picture, we just go to the develop manual, and then we can change whatever we feel like from here and just bring it to your liking. So again, that was just a quick way to work with Lightroom and Photoshop to create an HDR fill, a manual way to do it, so we don't have to mess around with moving subject or some blurry tree lines or whatever it's going to be. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. We'll see you next time.